Cup in 1994 was the ultimate, and there probably was, I mean, there's no better city than New York to win a championship in, and we were fortunate enough to do that. Well, I mean, the game's changed a lot with the new rules that they've implemented and taking out the red line, stuff like that to open it up and speed the game up. So, you know, that's a big difference. And you know, with the lockouts, you know, they are what they are. They're lockouts so that the league could get the right economic system that they felt they needed to survive and move forward. So I think, you know, the fans have definitely come back from the two lockouts. So we'll see what happens in the future. Well, I think, you know, you can't stand in the way of time and progress, and, you know, as everything gets more expensive, so do ticket prices for sporting events. So, you know, you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place with trying to make those types of decisions, I guess. I don't know that they overachieved. I think that they earned their way to playing the Cup, and that's the neat thing about sports and playoffs, that on any given night any team can win. And you know, they had a real strong playoff run last year and got to the finals and gave it as good a try as they could have. So I think they, you know, they're in a position this year to hopefully, you know, get that opportunity to get back to the finals.
In one word, incredible. Incredible. I never thought about it. It's overwhelming at times. There's some good fights and there's some stupid fights on the ice. So I would keep it in the league, but maybe cut it down a little bit. It has come down a lot. The whole thing, the whole 94, just the 1994 season was just incredible. I don't think Gary Bettman hurt the league. Personally, I think he helped the league. The league is healthy, except some exception in the league. But there a lot of more kids are playing hockey in the United States. So Gary Bettman, I think, is doing a great job. I love the new Madison Square Garden. Fortunately, a lot of the real fans cannot afford to come to the Garden. But it's a great atmosphere going back to the walking into Madison Square Garden. Last year was a miracle season, a miracle playoff run. So for them to repeat is going to be extremely hard, because I don't think they have the power. They're not a powerhouse in the league. But once you're in the playoff, you never know, and they showed it last year. I coached him when he was a kid. He's a friend of mine. His parents, the whole family is a friend of ours. So he was an outstanding player growing up, and whatever color he is, it's just it's shown that he's a great hockey player.
Winning the Stanley Cup in '94 was probably the best one I had. Oh wow, that's a loaded question. You know, well, first of all, you know, taking we had the center line in, so taking on the center line certainly opened up the game so a lot faster. The guys are bigger, stronger, much quicker than we were back in the day. To answer the Bettman side of the question, you know, I think Bettman's been good for, you know, those lockouts were to control the finances on the business side of the fence. It wasn't really to control us as much as to control the owners and the spending. I think Bettman's done a good job of corralling the owners and getting them all on one page instead of having one or two owners out there just buying Stanley Cups. So that was his job. That's what he came in to do, and I think he did a good job of doing it. Do I like him? That's another question. You know what? I was in it during the Montreal series in the playoffs last year, and there's a lot of energy still there. So yeah, I think it's hurt the people that can't afford to come. Yeah, it's hurt those people. That's part of sports. I was in California in the early '80s, and I had friends that had front row seats, and when Gretzky showed up, they lost their seats because they couldn't afford them anymore. And that's just the way sports is. So, but I think the energy is still there, the love is still there, and if you can't come to a game, you can still see it on TV. So I think the energy is still all there. I don't think they overachieved. No, not at all. I think they could have won the cup with no problem. With a few good bounces, a couple of guys, getting hot at the right times, it would have been. I think the cup would have been theirs. It would have been great to see again another Stanley Cup here in New York. But whether they can do it again, it takes a lot of chemistry. And some of the players they lost, I think Boyle certainly didn't help them by moving them out and then bringing in a couple other defensemen that got hurt now. So when everybody gets healthy again, I think they have a good shot at it. They're certainly I've certainly got them picked to be in the top 5 to win a Stanley Cup. But you got to be lucky to win a Stanley Cup. You got to stay healthy. There's a lot of things that go into winning a cup, and a little bit of luck. A lot of people do that. There's been lots of African Americans in hockey, over the years or whatever. So, but I don't know. I think I'll just leave that.
Well, without a doubt, it would be 1994, the parade, winning the Stanley Cup, and just the parade down Broadway was just amazing. Well, it never helps the league to have 2 lockouts, but you can't blame the commissioner solely on the lockouts. They didn't come to an agreement between the players and the commissioner, so it's both parties' fault, and everyone will get over it. They did not overachieve. They're a good hockey team with the greatest goalie in the world, and they can go all the way this year. The league has lost the enforcers. The league has changed. I don't think it's ever going to leave the game completely. I hope it never leaves the game completely. It's needed in the game, but it's got to be. It's not like the old days. I have to admit, it's not like the old days. Mark Messier at that time was one of the greatest players in the world, and he was also one of the greatest leaders. And he knew what we needed. He needed to instill confidence in our team, and that's how he did it, and it worked, and we won the Stanley Cup. I have no idea who that is. Sorry. I live in Michigan.
You used to play on the Rangers.
I haven't seen a Ranger game this year.
Oh my gosh.